All right, today we're jumping into a story that's set, get this, 2 billion years from now. Yeah, the world has ended, but salvation? It shows up in a disco ball the size of Pluto. This isn't your typical post-apocalyptic story. This is cosmic survival with a seriously stylish twist. So, I've got a question for you. What if the apocalypse had a dress code? I know, it sounds a little out there, but it is the absolute heart of this story. So forget about survival bunkers and canned food. No, this apocalypse, it demands glitter, platform boots, and just impeccable taste. Let's set the scene for humanity's final, and I mean fabulous, act. Okay, so I want you to imagine this. 2 billion years into the future, Earth, it's gone, completely cooked by our own sun. And the last little bits of humanity, they aren't cruising in some sleek starship. Nope, they're just adrift in a repurposed delivery van that's been welded to a rocket somewhere way out past Jupiter. The oxygen is running low, and you can bet hope is running out even faster. And how many are left? That's it, 9. That is the grand total of the entire human population. Just 9 souls floating in this infinite, pretty uncaring universe. I mean, the situation isn't just grim, it's basically over. And what a crew it is. I mean, you've got Dr. Patel, who is basically just screaming about atmospheric loss 24/7. Then there's Tenzin, who, despite everything falling apart, is somehow still in charge of snacks. You've got our narrator, who's pretty much delirious at this point. And, oh yeah, naturally, a yak, wearing sunglasses. It's just this perfect mix of tragic, absurd, and honestly kind of hilarious for a final passenger list. And then, right when you think it's all over, the impossible happens. A voice crackles to life over the radio. A voice the narrator describes as velvet soaked in whiskey and stardust. And suddenly, their hopeless, aimless drift, it has a destination. They're making an emergency layover at the literal end of time. And that voice, well, it turns out, it belongs to none other than David Bowie. Seriously. And his ship? Of course, it's a colossal disco ball orbiting Neptune, flashing his own name in Morse code. You can just imagine, when those doors open, absolutely everything is about to change. But listen, this isn't the Bowie they remembered from Earth. Oh no, he's been upgraded, big time. His jumpsuit? It's woven from actual starlight. His boots have heels that defy physics. He hasn't aged a single day in billions of years. He's basically become more of a cosmic entity than a rock star at this point. So Dr. Patel finally breaks down, assuming they're all about to die. But Bowie just shuts that down immediately, says, "Wrong, you're all gonna live." But then he adds, "But first, outfits." I mean, can you believe it? His first order of business isn't a survival plan. It's a mandatory wardrobe change. In that one moment, the priority just shifted from mere existence to absolute fabulousness. So they get decked out in their new glam rock gear, and yes, that includes a feathered fascinator for the yak, and they step inside the disco ball. And what they find, it isn't a ship, it's a whole city. The capital of Neptune, apparently. A place with crystal domes and actual rivers of liquid helium. Mind-blowing. So as you can imagine, our narrator is having a really hard time processing any of this. I mean, a city inside a spaceship, run by a rock star who should have been gone for billions of years, orbiting a gas giant? The question, how is any of this real? It's not just a thought, it's the only logical response to the sheer madness of it all. And Bowie's explanation for all this? It's so simple, so iconic, and just completely reality-shattering. He tells them, "Sweetheart, reality left the chat when I did. Now you're in Bowie time. The old rules, gone. They have just entered a whole new state of being governed entirely by him. Welcome to Bowie time." So what exactly is Bowie time? Well, think of it like this. It's a dimension where the laws of physics kind of take a backseat to aesthetics. It's a place where the only things that are really mandatory are style and a total willingness to embrace the magnificent absurdity of the whole situation. And this new society, New Soho, it runs on completely different principles. The population? Infinite. The dress code? Fabulous, obviously. But the currency? Now, this is the most fascinating part. It's not gold, it's not credits. The currency here is memories. Specifically, memories of the good days from a world that doesn't even exist anymore. And this is where we get to the true purpose of their rescue. See, these last 9 humans, they weren't just saved, they were recruited. They have a very important role to play in this new world, and it has everything to do with the memories they're carrying inside them. Bowie lays it all out for them. He says, "You lot are the headline act." Their mission isn't to fight or sing or anything like that. It's just to remember, to share all the simple, beautiful, and sometimes stupid things they loved about their lost home. Their stories. That's the show everyone has come to see. And there's a whole process to it. They sit on these incredible hover thrones that are literally made of frozen songs, and they just remember. They tell their stories. And as they do, something absolutely incredible starts to happen. Their memories, their nostalgia, all that love for a dead planet, it begins to physically reshape their new home. And what kind of memories are we talking about here? What's fueling this cosmic transformation? It's not grand historical events, no. It's the small, intimate stuff. Sunday roasts, the sound of rain on a window, the taste of a mother's samosas, the feeling of a pub garden at golden hour. It turns out these simple personal moments, they hold enough power to literally build a new world. So as their stories are literally transforming Neptune, our narrator has this huge realization. This whole thing, it wasn't about escaping a dying planet. It was about taking the best parts of it, the best memories, and creating something new, something better. This wasn't an escape, it was an upgrade, a spiritual and aesthetic upgrade for the entire species. And this really gets to Bowie's grand thesis on salvation. He says, see, saving the world's easy. You just need better taste. It's not about brute force or fancy technology. It's about curation. It's about knowing what's worth saving and having the style and the vision to build a new world around it. And this really highlights the difference, right? You have the old idea of salvation, which was all about escape, survival, and was rooted in fear. But Bowie's salvation, that's about an upgrade. It's about truly living, and it's all guided by taste, the ability to recognize and cherish beauty. So with their work done, the job of remembering complete, the giant disco ball transforms one last time. It becomes this sleek vessel, totally ready for interstellar travel. And the last humans, they're not refugees anymore. They're passengers on the absolute coolest tour of the cosmos, with Bowie at the helm, saying, "Next stop, Andromeda. Drinks on me." And his final line just reveals the whole truth of it. He says, "Oh, darling, I've always had the rocket. Needed passengers worth the ride." Think about that. The technology, the power, the ship. Bowie had it all along. He wasn't just waiting around for a crisis to solve. He was waiting for people who carried stories worth preserving. He was waiting for passengers that made the whole cosmic journey worthwhile. And so that leaves us with one final thought. A question for you, really. If you were one of the last, and your memories were the actual currency to build a new reality, what would you bring to the table? What simple, beautiful moment from your life would be your price of admission? Really think about it.